Everyone knows about Lil Baby's relationship with fellow rapper Young Thug. They grew up together and Young Thug is one of Lil Baby's mentors. However, what you don't know is that Lil Baby could have started rapping even before Young Thug, but he couldn't as he was into a life of crime. In this video, we will reveal to you Lil Baby's dark past that no one talks about. Keep watching to find out. Early life. His real name is Dominique Jones. Lil Baby was born and raised in the Oakland City neighborhood in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, if you're wondering how Lil Baby got his stage name, he got it from his mom. Lil Baby once stated that he grew up amongst a lot of older heads, and his mom was always checking up on him by calling him Baby, hence the name Lil Baby stuck, which made him choose it as his rap name. Lil Baby was born into poverty with his two sisters and a brother as his father had abandoned the family when he was just 2 years old. Hence, he was raised by his single mother who was a post office worker. During this time, Baby and his family lived off of food stamps and government assistance. As a result of the neighborhood he grew up in, Lil Baby was exposed to many criminal activities at a very young age. Many of his neighbors were making a living off of petty crimes and selling drugs, and Baby was influenced by this lifestyle. Teenage life. Lil Baby was not only influenced by his neighbor's lifestyle, but also by his environment. In recent interviews, the rapper has stated that he believes he's a product of his neighborhood, and this was probably why, as a teenager, Lil Baby was never interested in academics. Instead, he was involved in a lot of brawls in school. Instead, Lil Baby was interested in the streets. He attended Tri-Cities High School in East Point, Georgia, which is the same high school the legendary hip-hop duo Outkast went to. But Lil Baby wanted to be a drug dealer and to keep hustling in the streets. This was why he even attempted to drop out of 10th grade to sell drugs. Back then, Baby's goal was perhaps to be the next Pablo Escobar. During this period, he spent most of his early days just hanging out with friends who sold illegal drugs in the street. At the age of 13, Lil Baby had started dealing drugs, gambling, taking alcohol, and also making a living by doing other petty crimes. This was also at a time during the late 90s when gangsta rap was at its peak and the likes of Outkast and Waka Flocka Flame ruled the Atlanta rap music scene. Although Baby liked and was influenced by gangsta rap, he never considered making a career as a rapper. Baby grew up with fellow rapper Young Thug and music label executives like Coach K and Pierre Thomas. The drugs Lil Baby sold and his friends Young Thug and Coach K eventually became his link to the music industry. Music career. Lil Baby was an astute weed dealer, and this earned him respect on the streets of Atlanta. Baby was dealing drugs for various rappers, but he was particularly close to the camp of his friends Coach K and Pierre Thomas, who were the owners of the label Quality Control. Quality Control is the home to artists such as the Migos, City Girls, Lil Yachty, etc. Baby was always around the studio, and all these rappers knew him even before he became famous. Apart from selling weed to them, Baby would wait for rappers to return from shows with money while waiting to win it from them through gambling or any other way he could think of. In an interview with a magazine, Baby said they probably get like 30 grand a show, but they're doing 3-4 shows, so they come back with 50, and I might win the whole 50. Most times, Baby won their cash by playing with them a dice game called CeeLo. It was during one of the days while he was outside the studio that Coach K suggested to Baby that he should become a rapper. In an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, K stated that he said to Baby, "You got the swag, you got the lingo, you get respect around the city from the east side to the west side to the south side. Why don't you rap?" However, Baby replied with, "I'm a street nigga," which means that he was comfortable with just hustling in the streets. Coach K eventually convinced Baby to become a rapper by making him realize that most rappers were successful by creating stories of the exact type of life that Baby was already living. After their discussion, Lil Baby, through the help of rappers and close friends like Young Thug and Gunna, learned how to rap. Months later, Lil Baby released his mixtape Perfect Timing in April 2017. According to Baby, he and his team used only 3 days to come up with the 12-track mixtape. The mixtape featured guest acts such as Young Thug, Gunna, Lil Yachty, etc. Perfect Timing was quite successful, and Baby immediately rose to fame and attracted many listeners. This encouraged him to drop another mixtape 3 months later titled Harder Than Hard, and in December of the same year, he released a 16-track mixtape, Too Hard. The mixtape had a successful lead single, Freestyle, which attracted much attention to the mixtape. Lil Baby's consistency and dedication to his craft was what made him stand out among other trap rappers, and this was why it wasn't much of a surprise to those who followed his career religiously when Baby's debut studio album was a massive success. The album Harder Than Ever debuted at number 3 on the US Billboard 200 chart. It had 17 songs and was supported by singles such as Southside and Yes Indeed. Yes Indeed featured Drake and peaked at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. After the success of his debut album, Lil Baby released a collaborative mixtape with his close friend and label mate Gunna titled Drip Harder. The mixtape's lead single, Drip Too Hard, peaked at number 4 on the Billboard 100 and went to be certified platinum by the RIAA. Drip Too Hard also scored Baby his first Grammy nomination for Best Melodic Rap Performance. In February, Baby released his second album, My Turn. The album is his most successful body of work to date, as it debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard 200 chart, while its lead single, Whoa, peaked at number 15 on the Billboard 100. The album had 12 songs, which appeared on the Billboard 100, and My Turn returned back to number 1 on the Billboard 200 after its deluxe version was released less than 3 months later. Lil Baby showed his strength on the charts as a solo and lead artist when he released his political song, The Bigger Picture, amid the George Floyd protest. The song debuted at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, and the song received 2 Grammy nominations for Best Rap Performance and Best Rap Song. In March 2021, Lil Baby gave a powerful performance of the song at the Grammys in 2021. The performance involved cameos from actor and activist Kendrick Sampson and Killer Mike and referenced the 2020 police killing of Rayshard Brooks. Now, while Lil Baby's success has shown that he's no doubt an excellent rapper, keep watching as we will now reveal to you his dark past no one talks about. Don't forget to comment and like the video, and also subscribe to the channel to watch more videos like this one. Lil Baby's dark past. Now, earlier back in the video, we told you about how Lil Baby grew up in Atlanta hanging with friends like Young Thug, Coach K, and Pierre Thomas. But what we didn't tell you is that while his friends started to thrive in the music industry, Lil Baby was oblivious about the talent he had. Instead, he focused on a life of petty crimes, and this resulted in him spending years in prison. Lil Baby was first arrested when he was just 12 years old. The Atlanta rapper was arrested with his friends just as they were attempting to break in and rob a house in the neighborhood. He was locked up in a juvenile detention for only 10 days. It was after this that his mom found out about Lil Baby's after-school extracurricular activity, but this didn't change anything. After he was released, Lil Baby stuck to his life on the street, and if you remember, we did mention earlier that Lil Baby was always involved in brawls in his school and that he did try to drop out to focus on his street endeavors. Well, he was eventually kicked out of school. His constant brawls in school and petty crimes got him suspended various times, and this resulted in his eviction. After being kicked out of school, Lil Baby was now on the streets all the time, and this led to him being arrested multiple times. Details of these arrests are sealed as Lil Baby was just a minor during this time. However, Lil Baby stated himself in various interviews that he was only always arrested for 2 things: drugs and guns. He's also been arrested various times for a theft charge and possession of marijuana. And in 2015, at the age of 19, Lil Baby was eventually sentenced to prison for violating his probation. Violating his probation meant that Lil Baby was potentially looking at some serious time in jail. His first lawyer got him a deal that required him to just spend 2 years in prison. However, Lil Baby wasn't satisfied with the deal, and he employed another lawyer instead. The new lawyer got him a better deal in which he had to attend a 12-month program. However, it didn't take long for Lil Baby to get into trouble again. Just like his high school days, Lil Baby got into a brawl with another program attendee, although maybe this time he had good reason for this fight. Lil Baby alleged that he was racially abused by a white prisoner, but this brawl resulted in the program being replaced by his original 2-year deal. Unlike any other 19-year-old, Lil Baby had no issues such as bullying or any other problems in prison, as he had cousins who were facing life sentences in the same prison. Surrounded by some members of his family and other people he knows in the neighborhood helped Lil Baby avoid any problems during his sentence. He was released on the 1st of July 2016. After he was released, Lil Baby had plans to return to his old ways of hustling in the streets, and it was at this time that Coach K convinced him to become a rapper and Young Thug paid for his first studio session. However, in February 2019, Lil Baby had another run-in with the law. A Georgia state trooper saw that Lil Baby did not signal before switching lanes. The rapper then sped up and started to drive recklessly. Lil Baby realized a need for speed when he saw that the Georgia state trooper was behind him and signaled for him to pull over. Instead, Lil Baby switched lanes again and continued driving at a high speed until the state trooper eventually pulled him over. He was arrested for reckless driving, failing to signal while changing lanes, and for attempting to elude the police. He was eventually booked into the Fulton County Jail and released later at night after posting bail.